What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Neo here. Today I was gonna do a video on the Division 2 and like review it and all that good stuff, but instead I want to talk about a game that I've actually been looking forward to that might not get turned on my PC ever again. We will see. Depends on what happens in the future. As always, if you like the content or if you want to see something specific, like, subscribe, let me know below. The Discord link will be in the description. I stream Monday through Friday. You can catch me there as well. Last Epoch, Valorant. What else? We played a little bit of Division. I play whatever the viewers want me to play if they use their points to do so. But mostly Last Epoch and Valorant right now. Anyways, let's get into the video. So we're going to be talking about New World. I know. A lot of people have been talking about it. Recently, they updated, or it was leaked, some patch notes about their premium currency shop. You know what that means. A lot of people have been talking about this. A lot of big names, a lot of big-time streamers, big-time content creators. But I felt like every opinion matters on this if we want to make sure that the game is released in a state that we all enjoy. So we're going to dive into it and dissect it, talk a little bit about everything that was talked about, and give our opinion. And if you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. I'd love to discuss with people about this type of stuff. This is right up my alley. I mean, if you have any suggestions in the comments for them, put it in there. Who knows if they'll watch this, but hopefully they do. So, let's start here. Here's the notes, okay? We don't care about anything else here. New World is introducing in-game purchases for special cosmetic items for players in their in-game homes. Now, a lot of people that have played MMOs for a long time kind of have a consensus feeling on cosmetics. They do not like them, they do not agree with them, because they devalue the in-game feeling of acquiring the gear look that makes you feel like a badass to everyone else. But they can deal with it because they understand that's the market we live in. I'm kind of in the same boat. I really can deal with cosmetic items, and more than willing, if the game's good, to give my money to them for said cosmetics just to show support. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, they don't need that, blah blah. That's besides the point. I game for a living. It's my biggest addiction. I'm gonna give money to games that I enjoy, and cosmetics is one way to do that, and that's fine. However, on that same token, I definitely think the in-game achievable cosmetics should be on par or exceed the cosmetics you can buy in the shop. Shop cosmetics shouldn't be better than in-game achievable cosmetics. If I say kill 1 million people in PvP and get a gear set cosmetic for it as like a reward, no one should look more badass than me for having that. That's just an example. You know what I mean? Like, no one should have an item from the shop that they spent $10 on that looks cooler than my million kills in PvP. That's just an example. Anyways, let's continue. We will sell cosmetics in the form of item skins, dyes, company crests, and emotes. This is all, like I said, not necessarily agreeing with it, but I can deal with it. This is where you lose me. We may sell quality of life items. Okay. Without even continuing here, let's talk about this right here. This right here means pay to win. There is no in between. The greatest example I can give you is Black Desert Online. Quality of life. You know what falls into quality of life? Inventory space, inventory weight. The tent in Black Desert Online, where you can repair your gear and have extra storage. and a place to buy potions on the fly. Like, this stuff is pay to win stuff. Like, if I'm playing the game and I don't have the inventory space as Joe, who spent $10 on inventory space, Joe is going to be able to farm more stuff than me quicker because he spent $10. That means he is paying for an advantage, which is pay to win. This I will never get behind, and I can tell you without even continuing on in this video, if New World does this stuff or plans on doing this stuff, I will not even start playing the game when it releases, because I don't want to get roped into what I was really excited for and what I could see as a good game, and then be sucked into either I have to pay money for these quality of life items or I'm not going to be good. I did that once on BDO. I'll never do it again. This is a joke market scheme. I understand you need to make money, but more than enough money will be made here. If you need to hit goals, you do not need this. Okay? Like, this is a joke. This is a fucking joke. Or boosts. Another thing I don't agree with. I can deal with boosts, like, say, 4 or 5 years after the game's been released, maybe. But I still fucking hate it. Like, what's the point of levels 1 to whatever max is, or whatever you boost them to? What is the point of those levels? Why did I have to do them if they didn't? You're telling me that they don't matter. So, like, why am I forced to play extra to do it? Like, in Dark Souls 3, you don't immediately get to end game with a boost because the game's been out for 5 years. That defeats the purpose of the whole game. You can say that with anything. Like, what's the purpose of those levels then if you just boost past them? I understand that you're trying to take the defense of people who only have maybe an hour or 2 days a week to play the game, but MMOs are supposed to be a grind, and the early to mid game leveling should be just as enjoyable as the end game content. If you're telling me that only the end game content matters, then why is the early mid game content in the game to begin with? You might as well just get rid of it. It doesn't matter. All you're doing is telling me that I have to start at a handicap position because other people don't have time to play. That's not my fault. That isn't my fault. Like, it's not my fault that I live a life that allows me to have more time. And blaming people, basically, that have the time to play, it is ridiculous. That I just don't see that argument at all. You shouldn't expect to be the best in the game if you only have an hour or 2 to play. Like, anyone who thinks that they should be allowed to be at the end game and be the PvP god, even though they only play an hour or 2 once every Wednesday and Friday or whatever the fuck, like, why should you be the best in the game? You don't have time. You don't play at all. You don't know anything about what is going on in the game for the most part. Like, you need to learn these things, and over time eventually you'll get there. But boosts just ruin that experience. Anyways, we'll continue on. Boosts that will help improve their time spent leveling up character and trade skill experience. This is the worst boost that I can think of. Let me tell you right now, the biggest thing that was pulling me towards playing New World was their crafting, gathering, and trade skill system after they changed gears towards a theme park MMO. It was some of the most fun I had, and when I played the test, literally I just wanted to max level that shit, even though I didn't, because I didn't want to waste my time. Like, that was some of the most fun life skilling I've ever done in an MMO, to be honest. Like, I could see major potential for it. If you're telling me that I have to grind 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, to become the best trade skill dude in New World, but Joe fucking Joe. You can just buy trade skill experience and play maybe 3 hours and achieve the same thing. Like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna pay you money to keep up with Joe because Joe's paying you money. I'm not gonna spend my time to keep up with Joe. Like, are you out of your mind? Anyways, we're committed on keeping the competitive systems fair. Untrue, as we just explained. This is competitive too, just not in a PvP sense. And balanced for all customers. No, this isn't balanced. This isn't balanced at all. Neither is this right here, quality of life items. Neither is time spent leveling up, boosts for time spent leveling up. That's not balanced. Someone plays less than me because they paid money. How is that balanced? That's not balanced. Quality of life items, someone can farm for longer than I can because they've spent money on inventory space. How is that balanced? That's not balanced. That isn't balanced. Purchases will not provide a competitive edge. Same thing I just said applies. Not true. Over another player who chooses not to purchase. How can you say this sentence? Okay. How can you say this end sentence when there's items that give an advantage? Like, this is just a straight out lie. This sentence right here is just a lie. It's like if I came up to you and said, I'm going to sell you this orange for $20, which I also sold to Karen for 10. And then I said, but don't worry, I didn't sell that orange to Karen for 10. What? Oh, we got more to go over too. They got a lot of flack for this. A lot of flack for this from a lot of big time people and small time people. There's people who defend it. I don't understand you, and you can talk to me in the comments. I don't understand you. Please tell me why you would defend it. I would love to understand. I have yet to hear an argument that will make me understand why this is good. But if you want to have that discussion, I'm not trying to be an asshole. If you want to have that discussion, I will civilly do so in the comments. If you're not going to be civil, don't worry about doing it. But I am open to listening to your opinion. I haven't heard a defense that can defend this. Then we got this. After all the flack, this is what they said. Some questions have come up recently, blah, 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 blah. Our plan in having a store is to create an outlet for players who find value in store items. Oh. So your plan is to make money off people who will spend money on your store. That's what they just said. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Our plan is not and never will be to create a feeling that store items are necessary to enjoy the game. I think you only want money, New World. Players will be able to play the full game experience we ship without having to make store purchases. They just won't be as quick about it, or as big of an inventory, or earn as much XP, or have the advantage that the store provides. Yeah. All store items at launch will be exclusively cosmetic in nature. At launch. By the way, this game isn't out yet, and we're talking about an in-game shop. We are introducing this storefront in alpha in order to test these items and their value. We want to see how many people will spend their money on this. No selections in the store or their indicated cost. During testing, there is no real cost in any case, is final. Our purpose is quality assurance and gathering player feedback. No, your purpose is to figure out who's willing to spend the money. So please share your thoughts once the system is introduced. So please tell us if you'll spend your money on this. Okay, Amazon. The testing audience will see each type of item we are considering and have an opportunity to provide feedback, letting us know if they'll give us their money out of their minimum wage job. Okay. Looking towards the future, we will also test the ideas on how to offer players quality of life items for mechanics like XP that comes from being rested, so boost to the rested XP, fast travel. Okay. So fast travel is not something you can just do in New World. So basically, it's going to take me longer to travel around the map than your boy who spent whatever amount of money on fast travel items. Very good. Both obtainable in-game through grinding and purchasable with just $10 in the store. Do you want to grind for 4 hours or do you want to give us $10? The timing of release for these types of items will depend on how players progress in the months after launch. The more players who are able to experience all of our exciting endgame content and game modes, the healthier the overall game experience will be for all players. Let me read this sentence a different way. The more players who are able to experience the good parts of our game, which is endgame, and get past the shitty part of our game, which is early, mid-game, the better the game will be reviewed by reviewers. That's what they're saying. That's what that sentence means to me. The early game and the middle of the game and all the leveling and the grinding in between, that shit is garbage. We didn't do well on our early parts of our game. So, the more people that we can just push to the end game, the better. That's what that sentence means. Our goal with all items of any type is that they not offer an advantage that imbalances the game. Right here, you talk about an advantage. Okay? Right here. This right here is an advantage. This imbalances the game. I have to grind for 4 hours for a fast travel item. Let's say. This is just an example. But you can just buy it in the store and instantly have it. How is that not an imbalance? How is that not an imbalance, chat? And I said chat like I'm on Twitch. We understand that this line is based on player interpretation. We understand that this could not go well, so let us know if you'll spend your money on this stuff. So we ask for your patience while we see who will spend the money. For transparency, we just want to let you know that we are contemplating, but you have not yet finalized a Battle Pass style program that will also offer store items on a periodic basis. Very good. Again, this I don't care as long as it's all cosmetics. That goes back to the cosmetics section of this video. I mean, I care, but I can deal with it. This will also be tested to ensure it provides strong value without disrupting gameplay for those not participating. There is also the possibility of optional expansions which would have a separate cost. Okay, we're talking about cosmetic items. We're talking about give us money for cosmetics, give us money for boosts, give us money for quality of life, and just for transparency, we want to take your money in a battle pass and we want to take your money in optional expansions, but they're not really optional because they'll be added on to the end game. So if you ever want to progress farther with everyone else that you play with, you got to buy them. So we're just trying to figure out how many different ways can we get your minimum wage check per week without you getting angry. Okay. My goodness. Here's the thing. I may sound like an asshole in this video, but anyone who's played MMOs for a while feels the same way I do. We keep getting kicked and punched and spat on, and every time we think there's some hope, we get kicked in the nuts again. Listen, New World, Amazon, if your goal going into New World is to make more money than WoW, then your game's gonna fail. You haven't released a big time game that I'm aware of yet. This is gonna be your first one. Everything has gotten canceled. If you want to step into the gaming verse on the right foot, you need to worry about the quality of your game over the money you make, and the money will come. I don't know why I gotta tell you this, because you're Amazon. That's just the bottom line. You will make, I guarantee you, you'll make more money off cosmetics if the game's good than you will doing this shit. I guarantee you this game will tank if all this enters the universe of New World. I can tell you right now, I won't be playing it, and that's pretty sad because I've been waiting for this game to dedicate to. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm waiting on a good MMO, and if this stuff happens in New World, it looks like the only thing that I'm waiting on is Ashes of Creation. And if that fails, then I guess fuck MMOs, I guess. I guess they're done. They're dead. Anyways, I could keep ranting, but I think I got most of it off my chest. You can make this game a successful game. To be fair to New World, I will say that everything leading up to this news has looked really good, and I've been getting more and more excited for New World, and then they dropped this bomb. I think you just backpedal. Maybe talk about cosmetics in the future, like I don't know, when the game's actually out. And do not even consider putting these advantages into the game. Not even within a year, let alone a couple months. Like, don't do it. You're just gonna ruin the game. You're just gonna ruin your fan base, and no one's gonna want. I'm gonna tell you right now, if New World tanks, everyone's gonna want to steer clear of Amazon. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying that's what's gonna happen. You need to get this game right. That's all there is to it. You can agree or disagree. You can let me know in the comments. I don't really have anything else to say. I appreciate your time, YouTube, and yeah. If you want to discuss more, hit me up in the comments. That's all for today. Later.